Hello, everyone, to the July episode of What's New in Cloud FinOps. This time we are almost early compared to our standards. And it is, as usual, with myself, Franck Contrepoix, my great friend.
SteveO. Not bad considering last week you were in a swimming pool. Not for the entire week, but
Yes,
to have got something done this early.
Yes, I was with the kids in France, enjoying being with my parents and the swimming pool. The kids are still with the swimming pool. I'm back because I need to move houses, which is another non-stressful things to do.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Well, I guess I should make a noise. There's quite a lot to get through, isn't there?
Yes, and we've done another way. Now we've added your chatbot. We've got some news from OpenAI, from Oracle. We've got some news from Alibaba. We've got some news from OpenAI, I think.
Yes, and to that point, we've got quite a lot in the AI space because there's all sorts of bits that have come out in there. But I've put an OCI one on, which is about them releasing something specific. But we obviously let everyone know about the instances coming out. Do people want us to let them know about new models and where new models get released, like if they've gone to Azure and stuff like that now? We'll try to remember when we post this, but do come back to us when listeners on whether that's useful, whether you'd find that useful, or whether you'd like to hear less about AI. The reality is it's a massive technology spend at the moment, so we are going to have to talk about it, but we can choose how far we go.
Exactly.
There we go. Right, so
instances and compute. And the first one is Amazon EKS. Provisioned control plane now delivers faster pod auto-scaling. And so by increasing horizontal pod autoscaler, HPA for friends, sync concurrently, you're going to increasing the sync concurrency to up to 40 times the default Kubernetes value. This reduces the time it takes for HPA-driven workload to scale in response to increased load, enabling faster responsiveness to demand. And this is FinOps because if you see something going much faster than before and going up in cost,
you need to at least know about it, right?
You need to know about it.
Yeah, I was going to think, does it scale down faster or anything like that? So I was thinking for cost savings, but no, in fact, it's this. Things are going to react really quickly, which adds some risk, right?
Yep.
It does add some risk. So people, well worth noting. Good one. We need another noise, don't we? It all comes in later.
Data and DB. So now we've split AI to its own dedicated area. Data and DB, there is one, which is Amazon CloudWatch Logs announces intelligent tiering for storage. So it automatically classifies your log data across 3 storage tiers. Standard, like existing one, infrequent access, and archive instant access based on access patterns. This allows you to store logs in Amazon CloudWatch for extended period of time at lower cost tier without any additional overhead.
That's nice.
And that's nice because very often your logs is one of the worst things you can.
Yeah, it can be a killer, can't it?
So let me see. Amazon CloudWatch monitors access patterns and automatically reclassifies data not accessed for 30 years to the infrequent access tier and data not accessed for 90 days to the archive instance access tier.
I would put a guardrail now in any organization that goes on by default for all new things. And if you would hope anything else already has some sort of guardrail saying gets deleted after X amount of days. But yeah, that's really nice. Be interesting to see how it interacts with some tools that read logs. Most of them ingest them separately, though, don't they? But some do read them from the storage. Interesting.
Yes, and at the same, it's accessed. So if you have something that you access on a regular basis, you might it will not move to the lower cost layer. We, at the same time, backups, if you back up everything all the time, or if you just need to read what's in the backup, I hope you just read the metadata because you might end up keeping stuff which is very old without any kind of good reason. So
100%.
Good to know. That's there. AI. And now we have, again, EKS Auto Mode reduces GPU management fee by up to 60%. So EKS Auto Mode now offers significantly reduced management fees for GPUs and accelerated instance types. Beginning on 1st of July, G-Series Auto Mode management fees are reduced by 35%, and P-Series and AWS Trainium fees are reduced by 60%. These reductions apply automatically to all EKS Auto Mode clusters, and no action is required from customer already using GPU instance in Auto Mode. And they should probably, it's in AI because there was GPU, but probably pricing. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So I'm just looking at EKS Auto Mode. This is examples of how you use Auto Mode.
I have EKS Auto Mode simplifies Kubernetes operation by automatically provisioning and managing infrastructure for machine learning inference,
and then
fine-tuning, rendering, and batch processing workloads.
Yeah, and you pay a fee for the management. So here's an example. C6A 2x large quantity 1. The instance cost is 0.306 per hour, I assume. Is that right? Yeah, it must be, yeah. And then the auto mode cost is 0.03672. So on a bill, there's a bunch of things in this as well, in this example, where a total monthly bill for the EC2 instances is about 1,000. It's about $125 for the EKS auto mode.
And the next news is exactly the same, but for ECS. So ECS managed instances reduce GPU management fees by up to 60%. Same, 35% on P series and G series is 35%. P series and Trainium is 60%. Those are the fees.
Now, so that's somewhat G series and T series.
No, P.
Oh yeah.
P like Papa.
So, but not on other series? That's an interesting one.
The G is the big one with GPUs. And it is the one that when I did the research, you have cost 60% more than something equivalent. So you can see the premium added by GPUs.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
I think it's the massive ones.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I'm just looking up the Ps and the Gs. In the EKS Auto Mode pricing section, I can't see them when I search up. But maybe I'm getting something wrong. Anyway, that's a distraction. At least we found an example of it. So it's me. No, it's you.
It's me. It's AWS Bedrock LLM cost optimization framework.
Oh, this is a blog,
this is a blog. It is a practical AI FinOps, tool. Like I love it now. Every time AWS used the word FinOps because they were not using. Never using it.
If you look at the URL, and in fact, if you look at the source, it says AWS Cloud Financial Management blog, but it then talks about FinOps in there.
Yes, but so that's there is a cost optimization framework. You can go into the Cloud Financial Management 29th of June 2026, and you will get something from AWS on how to optimize on Bedrock LLM.
Yeah, it's how to handle the attribution, the operational telemetry, and application level observability. Next is me. Alibaba introduces a new billing model for AI agent sandboxes. So this was released on the 17th of July, and it's from their announcement, the launch of new billing model. So Alibaba announced a new billing model for function compute agent sandbox, rolling out from the 31st of July across regions. The service is being repackaged into editions intended to reflect different agent development requirements. The reason we think it matters, agent runtimes introduce cost categories that sit between service compute development environments and application infrastructure. And new billing models make it important to understand whether charges accrue while agents are active, waiting, retaining state, etc. So this may become a equivalent to a forgotten development VM or environment, etc. So it's just worth tracking. Then we've got OCI brings Google Gemini,
I think it's.
Yeah, I think that's how they'd say it. But into Oracle's enterprise application ecosystem. So that was on the 30th of July. So Oracle announces plans to make Gemini models, including lower cost Flash variants, available across OCI Enterprise AI. Fusion Cloud applications, and NetSuite integrations. Oracle positioned the lighter Gemini models partly around improved AI price performance. And AI costs are increasingly arriving through existing enterprise applications rather than standalone models and APIs. So I'm writing something at the moment, as you know, Frank, and one of the things I'm kind of saying in there is, I've had very little time to write it in the last couple of weeks. Actually, you're using AI, even if you're not aware that you're buying it, and at some point you'll have to start paying for it. And at the moment, if you're not paying for it, as you've always said, you're paying for it because you're training it. Paying with your data kind of thing.
There was someone like this. I think it's Meta that tells you that their latest model will be cheaper if you accept to share your data.
Yeah.
But they're making it explicit, exactly the opposite of what we had with Google, which is, I give you software for free, and I'm not telling you, but I'm getting all your data. In this case, for the first time, they're saying, hey, it costs lots of money, but if you give me your data, I'm going to make it cheaper. But that's not what all the others are doing. That's what not OpenAI or Anthropic are doing. So
no. And Oracle's an interesting one anyway, because Oracle generally has the best price for compute.
Yep.
So it's an interesting one when you look at AI workloads. We'll have to get Anthony on at some point, because I bet he's doing some benchmarking on the AI space. I think that'll be really interesting. The next piece of news is OpenAI OpenAI cut selected GPT 5.6 model prices by up to 80%. So this is out of Reuters and comes out of the AWS pricing announcements. Some of these we've opened up to a few more sources. And again, there's a few Reuters articles that are well worth reading that I've read in the last couple of weeks. But can be quite hard to find the detail where they maybe got it from. But I did find some of this stuff elsewhere. So OpenAI reduced GPT 5.6 Luna pricing by roughly 80% and Terra by around 20%, while leaving its highest tier Sol model unchanged. So AWS announced corresponding Bedrock price reductions and said Bedrock pricing matches OpenAI's first-party rates for those models.
Yeah, and that I've heard that and read that from other sources also. It's quite interesting. So they are pushing standard consumers to start using not always the latest model.
They need to, man. They need to for their own sake, don't they?
So we're getting there to start differentiating between.
It's not almost just the latest, it's also the power of the models, right? They're kind of differentiating by this. It's an interesting one. Then we've got Alibaba introduces time of day pricing for frontier AI models, which I think is a really interesting one. So this was out on the 30th of July. However, was it Microsoft used to have this with, where we'd find something when we did the research and then it would disappear the page by the time we came to do it. So interesting one. But this is Alibaba Cloud introduced automatic off-peak pricing for Qwen 3.7 models during a daily 10-hour window. Model studio prices fall by up to 80% with no enrollment or code changes required. So that is generally interesting in terms of the kind of AI economics, tokenomics, I suppose if you want to call it. But time of day pricing creates a financial incentive for doing things that help them, right?
So there is a 10-hour window, which is off-peak time.
Exactly, where it's cheaper.
Where the costs go down, which is quite a lot. It's almost half the time.
Exactly, yeah. So they're obviously finding very heavy compressed batches. So that is really interesting. And it introduces a familiar concept for us. It's basically a bit like spot pricing and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
I find it interesting that it's automatic. It's very much like electricity. If you run your washing machine at night, it's cheaper.
Well, they're probably paying less for electricity to run it at those hours, right? Yeah, entirely right, yeah. Isomorphic economies, but also because there's interdependence, which is greater than it's ever been. Oh my goodness, could we do a whole podcast on that? We'd have to get James back in, Dr. James Mitchell, who's fantastic at talking that kind of stuff, and very few people have taught me more around that, apart from maybe Frank. So Alibaba promotes model routing as a routing? I don't know. Depends where you're from. Again. Yeah. Again, it's an interesting one. I
asked my son Fyodor. He's all over English and he knows all the accent. He's 9 years old.
I've got a degree in it. But routing is the American way of saying it. We generally say routing.
So the routing. The French way. Route.
Maybe when we're not sure, we should just convert to French.
Yes. I'm sure.
Right. So this was 21st of July. This is a blog But Alibaba basically pushes a reference architecture for self-routing multi-model applications using AI Gateway and Model Studio, which is two of their services, including a fallback, monitoring, and cost optimization. The model routing allows applications to reserve premium models for complex tasks and move to routine models for cheaper alternatives. You've got to be thinking this way already. If you're not, go have a look at this. It might not be a cloud you're using, but the reference architecture is still useful for you to think about how you can implement it elsewhere. I think it's absolutely critical.
And quite a few are creating routers. So we're back to having some sort of a load balancer where you send your queries. It is very positive on one side that you can create rules. The inconvenience I see from the security perspective is you have a clear point of attack where you get all the prompts, all the caching, everything. And I'm slightly worried. But yes, we will get there slowly but surely, and there will be incident in between.
Indeed.
Music Maestro.
Oh, my goodness me.
Here we go. We have Amazon S3 removes 30-day minimum for transition to S3 standard ER and S3 one zone ER. So you cannot transition object to S3 standard infrequent access and S3 one zone infrequent access as soon as the day they are created without the previous 30 days minimum retention in S3 standard. That is big.
Yeah, that is big because you will have things that day one are going to be infrequently accessed.
Yes.
Or don't need the redundancy.
Yes, absolutely. Or it's your log of your stress testing. You want to keep some of them. You just want to have some of them. Just say, hey, I'm going to keep that for a very short time. And I know it's not vital, but so that was quite a big thing.
That's nice.
Find it useful. Next is yours.
Yeah, Google DataStream now offers a free tier for CDC data processed from Google Cloud, such as AlloyDB, PostgreSQL, and Spanner. The first 100 gigabytes of CDC data per billing account per month is now free. I think that says everything in the title. It's also from a product note in the release notes, so it's limited on its information. I couldn't find it when I went through the rest of the digging, but it was also one I missed in June. So there we go. But hopefully that's useful if anyone's using it. Hopefully it will apply to your accounts. Anyway, or has already applied.
Music. Visibility, semiconductor tags, cost categories. First one is track cost efficiency trends directly in billing and cost management dashboards with the new cost efficiency widget. So that's from AWS billing and cost management supports the cost efficiency widget in BCM dashboards. You can now view cost efficiency trends alongside Cost Explorer budget and reports for savings plans and RIs and utilization reports. So these provide a unified view for your spending, commitment, and optimization performance in a single tailored dashboard.
Nice.
It displays your efficiency score over time.
Mm-hmm.
How it changes over time. You can obviously slice and dice.
I don't know if we talked. Maybe it's just the general release. I think we talked about that briefly last month.
Yeah, but the widget links directly to the cost optimization hub console, so you can easily take actions when you have recommendation for saving opportunities.
Yes.
That's well.
Nice.
Next one is AWS Data Exports now provides standardized Amazon Bedrock product metadata. I think we had something like this. Anyway, today, give me a second. This is July. Today, AWS announces standardized product metadata for Amazon Bedrock in AWS Data Exports, with the Cur file, giving FinOps team and cloud administrators consistent structured attribute to understand Bedrock cost. So it lets you create customized export for your AWS custom user data, report them to S3. So that's just data export that you can query, blah, blah. With these attributes, you can attribute Bedrock spend without building custom logic to parse various product metadata in Cur 2.0. So they are providing you new columns.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, you're right. I do feel we talked about that.
We did talk about this. So there will be model provider, model name, inference type,
I don't know if we had
attributes.
all the information, though. Maybe it's just we got additional detail on it.
Possible. And third one is AWS Lambda now publishes log for Lambda manages as its capacity provider. Why did I pick that one? giving you visibility into scaling activity and instance lifecycle operation. LME enable you to run Lambda function on EC2 instances while maintaining serverless operational simplicity.
Just talk about optimize these managed EC2 instances, helping you diagnose provisioning issues.
Yes, and you can also achieve cost efficiency through EC2 pricing options like savings plans and RIs.
Yeah.
So with this launch, Lambda automatically generates logs for compute resources managed by capacity providers and deliver them to CloudWatch logs. So you are in the part which is EC2 but is managed by AWS.
Yeah.
And so they provide you with information so you can possibly optimize that one too.
Nice. Okay. It's doing
quite a
thing.
few for you now.
Yeah, it's not letting me do the noise, so I'll just there it is. There we go. I had to press escape of all things. Yes, there are a few for me. Let's make sure I'm back in the right place. So, commitments, and this is a big one. And we were going to do the big news at the beginning. We're going to have to do it at the end again.
We didn't get the big news, so.
Yeah, that's true. Reservation exchanges for Azure services supported by savings plans will no longer be available starting February the 1st, 2025. If
2025.
You haven't, sorry. Yeah, that's a typo. 2027. I must have. I've typed this one in manually. Starting the 1st of February 2027. There is a whole thing about things that have been purchased after a certain date, which is later on, which might be where my confusion came from. But basically, anything that's got a savings plan on it, you'll only be able to exchange once more after that date. And if you purchase it after that date, there'll be no exchanges. So you need to start really looking at your exchange strategy now. And in January, make sure you've got everything really tidy. Also, remember, you've got your rolling 50,000 for sales. So maybe if you've got some concerns, roll some off now so you get some back sooner. But yes, that is there. So this is a massive one, but I think people understand it before because they've tried to do it before. Now they are trying again. Is it 2 years since?
AWS did it in a discreet way. Azure presents things more, but at the same time,
well, they didn't know because convertible still existed, and the market and the RI marketplace still existed. Yes. This is the fact that their exchange capability, which has always been built in, which used to have a 12.5% cost, but which we used to kind of see as a exchange premium. Was that for the sale though? Was really anyway. They tried to remove it. I want to say 2025, 1st of Jan, and then it got pushed, or was it 2024? Anyway, it was a long time ago. We know a big client pushed back. It's probably to such a case that those people have had now time to roll off those, and were told they needed to, and now it's going to hit broader. I had a feeling maybe they'd not try to risk it, but I bet they've been working with the biggest customers to stop it. It's a shame. I've been advising people to, use this where it makes sense for them, but with a mix of other things, but also to have a controlled set of 1 and 3 year.
Well, less control, some sort of you are not savvy. That was always the problem. There is an assumption that savings plans they are simpler to use, but they are also guaranteed revenue for the cloud vendor. RIs were much more complicated to manage on both sides, but could potentially give you better results. But it's harder.
Yes,
anyway.
Yeah, and you could automate all of this, which was quite nice, and et cetera, et cetera. Right, the next piece is the Azure Legacy Reserved VM instance renewals end 1st of July 2026. So this is for VMs that are older. So Azure RIs for selected older VM series are no longer available. So we talked about it when it was announced. It is now just letting you know that has happened. Then we've got Google Resource Codes sharing becomes default for many billing accounts. We talked about that in July. It's just rolled out a bit further. So I won't go into that into too much more detail, but back in June, listen to that one again. This is you.
What you can do.
Are you sure? AWS adds maximum discount upfront commitments for Redshift serverless. So this was on the 24th of July. Amazon Redshift serverless introduced an all upfront payment option for 3-year serverless reservations, offering up to 50% savings over on-demand pricing.
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't.
What is the difference between partial or full or?
Yeah, it used to be a few percent, didn't it? It used to be.
Well, it used to be not worth it, really.
Exactly, it used to be not worth it. So one of the only places I used to think it was worth it paying all up front was Redshift prior to serverless. But they didn't release the serverless option, the all upfront serverless options. I'd be interested to know if they've released partial or whether they've just done the two.
So let's see. Saving over on demand for no upfront is 20%. For full upfront, all upfront is 24% on 1 year. So 4%. No upfront is 45% for 3 years and 50%. Interest rate at 4% right now. So yeah.
So compounded.
It's kind of probably not worth it. From the pure monetary perspective, might be worth it.
Yeah.
If it simplifies your life or you need to show savings, that's 5% more.
Yeah. Upfront, yeah, there we go. Yeah, 5%. That's tight, isn't it? It depends what you think interest rate is. Very tight. Depends what you think the interest rate can be. But yes, there we go. I will continue. BigQuery adds identity-based reservation routing. So this was on the 30th of June, but I don't think we picked it up. So apologies if we didn't. BigQuery reservation assignments can now include a principal, allowing queries to be routed to a particular reservation based on the user, service account, or external identity executing the job. Google also renamed capacity management to workload management in the console. So the identity-based routing creates a stronger mechanism for isolating workloads, applying different capacity policies, and protecting shared reservations from uncontrolled consumption. It can support the more meaningful product team and workload level unit economics. Quite interesting, I thought.
It is very interesting. The other thing which I found very interesting is how they can just change the console or change the UI or change the name of
change the
stuff,
words, yeah.
And it's no problem, and everyone needs to adapt. I still remember the ribbon on Word, that there was the new menu in Word ages ago. They changed it from a very small thing to a wider. And people went all over. There was barricades, revolutions, catastrophe. Now they changed we've changed the name of Alphabet product. All is good. Anyway, next one is mine, and it's Amazon RDS for Oracle now offers reserved instances for R8i and M8i instances. So you can get a 1 year or 3 years reserved instance with up to 53 cost savings compared to on-demand pricing. Those are powered by Intel Xeon 6 processors available only to AWS. And they have the highest performance and fastest memory bandwidth among comparable Intel processors in the cloud. Better 15% better price performance and 2.5 more memory bandwidth compared to previous generation Intel-based instances, etc., etc.
I'm just trying to look through the pricing to dig this out better, and I am not finding that simple. Oh, here we go. Reserved instance cost. Oh, it's like a separate piece. RDS Oracle reserved instances. No upfront, partial upfront. License included. Oh, here's reserved instance price. Oh, no. Reserved instance price. Please visit reserved instance prices page to find it. So it's not on the main track. And then, it's all over the show.
What I'm not understanding exactly is, are these when you have RDS with Oracle installed, and so you also get the discount on the license? Or this is just a BYOL where you have your license, and effectively what you are telling is you can apply RIs to the machines.
Yeah. Reserved instances are available for both licensing options. Supported licenses are license included, standard edition 2,
cool.
And then bring your own. But the following Oracle tables show the RI price per hour. It will just be for the machine, for sure, because the machine price absolutely pales into insignificance versus the license price.
Yes.
So it'll have to be just for the machine, and that's why they can apply it to both similarly.
But that it's fun because that means that it is an RI on a standard EC2.
Yes.
But
basically, yeah. It's hard when you dig in through it. it's hard to find the right bit because you get sent around a few different pages before you, and you don't really find that specific answer. Okay.
Pricing. First one is Amazon Open Source Service optimized for log analytics. So today, Amazon Open Source Service introduces a new engine purpose-built for log analytics workloads, delivering up to 4 times better price performance on internal benchmarks. It combines this efficiency with the full text search capability that OpenSearch is known for, so user can still run ad hoc queries that incident investigation depends on. Just run an agent. And I'm ironic there. As log volume grow with cloud-native architecture, AI workload, and expanding compliance need, teams spend more of their time on aggregation and trend analysis to uncover broader patterns. So while incident investigation still call for precise text search, Amazon OpenSearch, with new optimized capability for log analytics, deliver both fast analytical queries and full text search in one seamless service. So they say deliver 70% lower storage with new columnar storage for aggregation workload, retaining up to 3 times more data at the same cost. And the new engine also delivers twice higher ingestion throughput on the same hardware and 2 faster analytical query. I've read an article on this. I think it keeps the standard stuff into a relational database, and after a certain amount of time, a certain amount of volume, it moves it to a columnar format. Anyway, if you're into that.
Do you want me to do this one? Because the rest of these are yours, but this is a piece of research that my tool spat out, which came from Business Insider. AWS reportedly increased EC2 capacity blocks for machine learning pricing by about 20% effective July 2026 after an earlier January increase, which I don't recall finding either. Unfortunately, some of this is behind a paywall, but this is a clear AI capacity cost signal. GPU reservations are becoming more like scarce infrastructure procurement than cloud elasticity. So it was an interesting point it made. And so we can put the thing in there if you've got it. The article is called Amazon raises price of a key AI cloud service by 20% on strong demand from the Business Insider. So worth a bit of a read, but a chunk of it was behind the paywall.
Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff that is not presented back, or is not. They don't talk about the increase in this case. I haven't seen the news.
No. We haven't seen anything. So take a little pinch of salt, but why would Business Insider lie to you? For us.
Next one is Amazon SES introduces pricing plans. Not savings plans, pricing plans. So SES, which is simple email service, introduce pricing plans, which making it easy to purchase and access SES capabilities without evaluating them individually. So you have 3 hierarchical options: Essential, Pro, and Enterprise, and each plan builds on the one before it, offering progressively more capability at a discount compared to a la carte. It's pricing. So if you are using SES, have a look at these pricing plans. They might be for you, especially if you are in the bigger side of, if you send lots of emails.
Well, yeah, we don't. We use it for very small things. So
yeah, you're probably going to be an essential. I'm talking about the one like, I don't know, all the CRM tools that are probably, or mass marketing tools. Some of them are probably using SES, and that might be a make a change for them. Yeah, that's it. Next one is yours. It's Oracle.
Oh, it is? Sorry, yeah. I best open it.
It was mine, but yeah, I found it, so.
Yeah, no, lovely. Okay, so quantum. Oh, yes, I saw I heard you get excited about this. We actually did the research together rather than asynchronously this week, listeners. So quantum option pricing on OCI A100's 28 to 32 qubit benchmarks with classic with a Q and CUDA Q. What on earth have I just said? Great question. So for the state vector simulation workload tested here, GPU, memory capacity, and bandwidth were important factors in performance. We evaluated a financial option pricing circuit ranging from 28 to 32 qubits using Classic's quantum software platform for circuit synthesis. NVIDIA CUDA Q for execution, and NVIDIA A100 80GB Tensor Core GPUs in Oracle Cloud infrastructure. In a test configuration, execution timescale broadly with the growth of the state vector and remained short enough to support repeated development and testing. So this is basically a blog that Frank found about how they achieved this.
I was interested in the fact that when everyone moved from quantum was a big thing, at least big buzz, and then it disappeared when AI came in because AI was more concrete. It's quite interesting to see quantum just popping up again, like this. But
nice
music.
Yes.
And we are on savings, and AWS now supports automatic credit memo application preferences. So AWS now enables customers who pay through electric fund transfer to configure preferences on how credit memos are automatically applied to outstanding invoicing. So customer can choose from different application preferences in the billing and cost management console to match the internal payment process. These options include combination of applying credit memo to the original invoice, next eligible invoice, or oldest unpaid invoice. By default, credit memo apply to the original invoice first, then to future invoices, unless a different preference is selected. So I think that's important for company, the financial department of company, which used to do things in their way, and they had to adapt to how AWS was doing, or they were struggling every time they had a credit like this. I like when it's the big cloud vendors that are adapting to the processes or allowing other processes and their own to be used. That's it. I think now we enter into the big section.
We do, another big section. I almost pressed cheering there by accident.
That'd be good.
I was reading ahead into the next piece of news under sustainability because I'd not seen that one that you put in. Right, only one from me in this section for a bunch from you.
And it's FinOps.
Yeah, this is FinOps. Yeah. So more general bits and bobs. I don't know whether this one should almost be under a licensing SAM convergencing. I don't know. But basically, generally available single-click purchase for public SaaS offers. So eligible SaaS products on Microsoft Marketplace now support a simplified purchase experience in Azure Portal. So customers can review plan, billing, resource group, contact details, and terms on a single page for completing the purchase. Some regards, great, simpler. Other regards, even harder to govern. The purchase of what could now be shadow purchasing of software, not within your standard SAM procurement or ITAM procurement models. So I thought I'd bring it up. It would be bad of me to work in a company that has a large ITAM department if I didn't mention that there is yet another way for people to break all of their systems, but even easier.
It's always the fight between simplicity, control, security, etc. Next is mine, and by the way, I've highlighted in bold. One is yours, which is hidden in the middle. Microsoft one. Yeah. So Amazon CloudWatch supports creating alarms for log queries. So now you can create alarms for log data using log queries and get alerting on anomalies without leaving your log analysis workflow. This was just for FinOps because part of the job is to extract anomaly information from data in CloudWatch. So here we go. That's one for you. I will try to go fast. AWS Systems Manager simplify Azure VM management and hybrid node pricing. So this is AWS and Azure in one go. You can now connect and manage Azure VMs in AWS System Manager without manual agent installation or per instance tier fee. Create a cloud connector and automatically deploy the SSM agent to your Azure VM at scale. Once connected, Azure VM appear alongside EC2 instances in a unified view, and you can connect to them using Session Manager, run automation runbook, run Command State Manager, Patch Manager, and inventory across AWS and Azure from a single workflow. And I remember from my time when I was passing all my certifications, you could do that for on-prem. But now you can do it for Azure too. Next one is how Oh no, got wrong. So that was it's a blog post on how one organization cut AWS's costs by 39% in 12 weeks. It's a SaaS organization. While they cut the cost while preparing to grow 10 times. And so in the blog, you will learn how to prioritize cost optimization using effort versus impact scoring, extending the cost optimization hub for custom architectural changes, sequence changing into phases where each phase funds and reduce risk for the next, execute high impact infrastructure change. So in their case, such as consolidating more than 150 network load balancers into 5 application load balancers, and sustain saving with automated governance. I'll leave the rest to you all to read.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then we have which AI tool for which FinOps use case.
It sounds a lot like something you've done.
Yes, that is very much like what I've done. But this one is by Steph, and it is very much focused.
AWS specific.
Yes, on AWS. So while I started my thing, which is, again, finops.francontrepois.com, I've created the tool that starts from FinOps, the capabilities, the tasks, and tell you if that can be automated with an agent or if it's recommended. This one is the different which AI tool should you use. So you have AWS FinOps Agent, you have Amazon Quick, you have Kiro, you have Amazon Q in Console, and AWS DevOps Agent. So it goes into the detail of each one of them. It's extremely interesting. So when you've used my tool and you've decided that this you're going to change and use AI for, come to this article, pick which tool are you going to use, which agent are you going to use.
Nice. Me then.
Yes.
So this is, no, I'm on the wrong page. This is a blog. Microsoft Azure Databricks delivers the first-party advantage of Databricks on Microsoft, and for customers, the advantage shows up as real measurable value. So it's a blog about how, well, in this case, it's a 331% return investment and a $58.1 million net present value with a less than 6-month payback period. Oh, all of that jargon. So this was a commissioned study conducted by Forrester Consulting on behalf of Microsoft in June 2026. Results are over 3 years and represent a composite organization based on interviewed customers and may not be typical. Actual results may vary. But what the study found is that the Azure Databricks customers and a built composite organization to model the impact of $6 billion company in a regulated industry running about 10 petabytes of data. So quite large. And before Databricks, its data estimate was fragmented and expensive. Estate's not estimate. It was unreliable at scale and hard to govern. Afterwards, the results were clear: $75 million in benefits against $17.5 million in costs over 3 years, translating in a $58.1 million in net present value.
I like what they are finally talking, for example, about net present value. And if I remember correctly, it is you take the money in the future, you bring it back to today by saying how much it is. But anyway, there are formulas for that. What is interesting is when you get an MPV above 0, the project adds value and is probably profitable. If it's less than 0, the project will lose money and should be rejected. And the project breaks even at 0. And I find this interesting because, again, there are already formulas used in finance to decide what value is and how it's brought to the play. And we should try to use this kind of information possibly in our project, in our FinOps projects. And I think this week there was a chat with, I don't know, a latest podcast, short podcast. And I was trying to, I like to flip the coin to see the other extreme. If someone says it's A, I will try to see what if B. And one of the things was, we are all trying to create that IT generate value. And the question was, do we really need to create value? Should IT stay as a cost center and it's the project that runs on IT that deliver value?
This is the value, yeah.
And so you are in a safe place. in some formal way. You are here to help others, but you don't get the heat. And are we trying to get out of a very comfortable position? That is to be divided. I'm sure there will be lots of ideas, and there are good arguments in both sides, but I found it intellectually, how do you say, not challenging, but
controversial. Yeah. Hard to self-align with.
Yes. Yeah. Or it goes against what you have been told all the time, and you started, that's interesting. Anyway, next one is the Amazon EC2 autoscaling now supports instance refresh in CloudFormation. So when you configure the new auto-scaling instance refresh in one word with capital letters in the right place, the auto-scaling instance refresh update policy and update properties that requires instance replacement, CloudFormation automatically triggers an instance refresh. And so they will automatically be all refreshed in the right order. With this integration, you can now access instance refresh capabilities, including replace root volume for in-place updates, launch before terminate, alarm-based monitoring, and checkpoints, with bake time for controlled rollout. So auto-scaling features such as scaling policies and health check remain active throughout the update. So your service health is not at risk during deployment. Rollback is handled through CloudFormation Stack Rollback.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The usual.
Yeah.
Next, it is improve your monthly cloud variance analysis with a weekly FinOps checkpoint. Again, I've reacted to FinOps. Yes, it's a blog from Jeff Durinsky. And so it is a blog. Have a read at it if you're interested in cloud cost variance analysis. It does it weekly.
You've got some prompts he suggests. Create your AWS checkpoint. Your checkpoint with AWS FinOps agents.
Yes, so exactly. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's got some decent guide pieces.
And as usual, I'm always, every time when you say weekly, it's good and bad at the same time. It's very frequent, mean that you have lots of maintenance to it, or you need to check stuff regularly at the same time. That's what you need.
Jeff used to be at Capital One. Is that where Uma was?
Whom?
Let me just check. Memento? Is it? Oh, I'll check that while you do the.
Okay, yeah, he was at Capital One.
He was
Senior Finance Manager, Cloud Finance Analytics.
Yeah, but wasn't our friend there?
There we go. Yeah, well, we had at Capital One. I had also my good friend Stacklet there. So, yep.
Nice. But isn't the founder of Stitcher from?
Udam was at City.
Udam was there. City, that was it. There is someone else. It must be Stacklet.
Stacklet, and City is Udam.
I get mixed up.
And also Amit, I think, from Do It Now was at City.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Amit Keenan, not the one from OpenOps.
Yeah, well, Amit from OpenOps, he has had some jobs, as you go around. We've had him on the podcast. He was at Google, he was at AWS, he's done all sorts.
He was at Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed. As a proper techie as well, like building their stuff. which is a proper job, isn't it? Unlike what we do these days. Right. I'll let you do this.
Yeah. There was one.
It was good.
AWS Sustainability Service now include water withdrawal data. So customer can now view annual water withdrawal data associated with the AWS workloads in AWS Sustainability alongside existing carbon emission data. This enhancement helps organizations get comprehensive visibility into their environmental impact across carbon and water. So it's available by AWS Region Service, AWS account on an annual basis. And API, it can from console and API. The data represent the total volume of water withdrawn for data center operation, with efficiency improvement reflected as lower withdrawal volumes. Yeah. I know that there are lots of debate on this always. Yeah.
Have they just expanded this? Have they basically extrapolated this using WUE? Or are they actually monitoring per data? I imagine they are, aren't they?
I think they monitor, being AWS.
That's how they do the WUE, I imagine. Yeah, I imagine that's how they create their WUE, is by the monitoring. And then they just extrapolate this.
I am unsure that they share much of the data. We reported either last month or the month before how the board of Amazon refused to share more sustainability data because they decided that what was presented there was enough. But anyway.
Even after like quite hard rallying by clients, wasn't it? Yes. But there we go.
And that's it. We've done it.
Whoa, lots of interesting news. Right, top 3. Top of my list, the Azure news about the changes to exchanges.
I would say for me, we have the Alibaba, the time to day pricing.
That's my second highest, 100%. The AWS, so the Azure reservation exchange reduction is going to impact more people. The one I find most interesting, so that's why it's my number 1. Most interesting is that time of day AI one.
Yes.
Which I think is interesting. I don't know, what would be my third?
I'd put the S3 that you don't need to wait for 30 days because this one might have a real impact. It's not just theoretical.
Yes, I agree. I think that's got to be up there.
There we go.
The only other one that's possibly quite close is maybe the reference architecture for routing AI. That's quite interesting.
Yes. Well, also the exits again from our eyes from Microsoft.
That's my top one. Yeah, that's my top one for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there we go. Well, thank you, Frank. I will send it across to you. And I'll send a new way across, like we said, because the old way's not working.
Yeah, exactly.
Since they've changed the media board, Riverside, you probably don't listen to people that have recorded podcasts. The media board's been broken. If you do listen to this, please fix it. We're having to do it a funky way. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.